What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our predictions for the NFC Championship Game, the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. All that and much more coming your way right now! Hey Trash Talkers, over 85% of you are still not subscribed to the channel. Please be sure to hit that red subscribe button and turn on notifications, as it will help us create more daily content for you. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Alright Nick, the championship game that we all expected coming out of the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. I am utterly shocked to say that the San Francisco 49ers have made it this far, and you know what? I owe an apology to the 49ers faithful, everybody out on the West Coast that really roots for the San Francisco 49ers, and our boy Jay in the Bay. I know he's always checking up on us, and I know he was not very happy with us choosing the Packers wholeheartedly. Now we get to take a look at the 49ers in the championship game for the NFC. Nick, what did you see from the San Francisco 49ers that got them to this point?
Oh, strictly defense. Their defense was phenomenal. As good as it gets when you're going up against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers came to play because they were as healthy as they were all year long for this matchup. Their defense came strong, and we saw the 49ers offense struggle. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo not able to find George Kittle early on or Deebo Samuel in the passing game. It was a lot of running with Eli Mitchell, a lot of running with Deebo Samuel, and there wasn't much going on the offense. The defense, though, held strong through it all. It was a low-scoring game, and for the most part, it was just 3 points on the board for the San Francisco 49ers until the fourth quarter, where they continued to hold strong. And their special teams, there are 3 phases to football, and we've seen special teams really be a factor this year. Here, we see a block punt with only 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, and it's right in the end zone. 49ers secure that touchdown. What an incredible way to tie the game, and then to go on and halt Aaron Rodgers one more time, then come back out, move the ball with George Kittle, kick that field goal. What an incredible win at Lambeau Field. And we talked about this last week. Kyle Shanahan knows how to play against Matt LaFleur. This is a rivalry that they love to play. They love going up against each other and seeing what they can do. But we've seen time and time again that Kyle Shanahan gets the better of this matchup. And this is just another instance of that. To me, the San Francisco 49ers have an incredible defense, highly underrated, and their offense is doing just enough to squeak them by. This is going to be one of the biggest tests they have coming up against the Los Angeles Rams as they face off for a third time this year.
I mean, you said it, right? The offense was anemic for the 49ers, and they're going to really have to step it up going against this Matthew Stafford-led offense. We're taking a look at what the Rams were able to do with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, the Buccaneers have a much worse defense than that of the San Francisco 49ers, just when you put them on paper, especially on the back end. That's really where the discrepancies happen, because up front, even though Nick Bosa is pretty much in a class of his own outside of TJ Watt, Nick Bosa is just the second best edge rusher we have in the NFL right now. Then you take a look at what this Tampa Bay Buccaneers did to the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, JPP was able to get some pressure, and honestly, most of the pressure came up the middle of this defense. That's where Arik Armstead's going to have a lot of things going on. But I want to talk a little bit more about what the Rams were able to do against the Buccaneers. And when you take a look at what they were able to complete, Matthew Stafford was 28 of 38 for 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. No interceptions is key because that has been his Achilles heel, not only in the playoffs, but throughout his entire career, throwing those interceptions. Now he's kind of reeling it in. Sean McVay is calling great plays for him to get the ball out early and often and really hit his guys in stride, get them going. We saw everybody get involved in the passing game. Sony Michel, Kendall Blanton, Cam Akers, Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, Odell Beckham Jr., and some guy named Cooper Kupp that we probably have never heard of. Cooper Kupp goes 9 catches for 183 yards and a touchdown to boot. This guy is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely unreal, and can do anything he is asked to do. Whether he's in the X, Y, or Z spot on the offense, he can do anything. I'm sure that Deebo Samuel is great for the San Francisco 49ers, but it seems like the Rams have their own guy, and his name is Cooper Kupp. On the defensive side of the ball, we saw Jalen Ramsey really get to it with Mike Evans. He got the better of Mike Evans throughout most of the day, and then all of a sudden, come halfway through the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, it seemed like Mike Evans really turned it on. Jalen Ramsey's going to have to be at his absolute best against Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk if they want to have a chance in this game. I'm really excited to see what the Rams can do, but Nick, I want to hear from you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the 49ers can do to get a victory over the vaunted Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah, well, once again, this is going to be a tough matchup. This is going to be something that, look, when we've seen teams who have played 3 times in 1 year, specifically this year, we saw the Rams and Cardinals last week. We saw the Bills and Patriots last week. And in both those games, they were absolute blowouts. One way or the other, one team came out on top by a long, wide margin. And I believe that it's going to be the same way. I don't believe that there's anything these two teams have not seen from the opposition that's going to give them any issues for the upcoming week. It's either going to be the offense knows the defense very well and they'll be able to game plan for it, or the defense will be able to shut it down. And it's going to be a very low scoring matchup. To me, with the San Francisco 49ers, we have seen them absolutely demolish the opposing offense, absolutely halt them, and not allow many yards, many points at all. And this is going to be a game where they just absolutely assert their dominance. In Los Angeles, we saw this matchup week 18. The San Francisco 49ers needed that win to make the playoffs, but the Los Angeles Rams also needed that win in order to secure their NFC North Championship. The Rams lost that matchup, and they were competing. That was a big game for the 49ers, and they came out on top, putting up over 40 points. I believe that the San Francisco 49ers have the exact game plan necessary to take out the Los Angeles Rams. And I know the pass rush for the Los Angeles Rams is strong, but I believe that this offensive line knows them very well, will be able to give Jimmy Garoppolo enough time in the pocket to get the ball out quick, and for the run game with Eli Mitchell and Deebo Samuel to really get strong. That is the Achilles heel of this defense, stopping that run. We saw it again. Leonard Fournette had a nice day running the ball in his first game back in a few weeks. It's going to be a very solid game for the San Francisco 49ers. I have a lot of faith in them to have a really competitive matchup because they've done it before, because they consistently prove everybody wrong. They have the formula to win right now, and I'm getting on board. I believe that the 49ers have a really strong shot in this matchup. I don't think people should be discounting them anymore.
No, I think you're absolutely right. The 49ers have what it takes to beat the Los Angeles Rams, and just to prove our point, the San Francisco 49ers have beaten the Rams the last 7 times that these two teams have met. Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, they have a rivalry in and of themselves, being in the same division, seeing each other twice a year. There are no secrets between these two teams, as you mentioned, Nick, and there's a lot going to happen in this game. A lot of trickery, a lot of things that are going to happen for a team to really pull out all the stops and get this win to head on to Super Bowl 56. The Los Angeles Rams are looking to become the second team in NFL history to host the Super Bowl in their home stadium, only to Tampa Bay last year when Tom Brady led them to the Super Bowl. Now the Rams are in for it. They have to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and they're in. With Matthew Stafford leading this offense with Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr., we are seeing just absolute mastery on the offensive side of the football. These guys are precision artists. They can carve up any defense at any point in time. The biggest question is going to be, can this offensive line hold up to the absolutely demonstrative defensive line that the 49ers have with Nick Bosa, Arik Armstead, and company? Those guys are going to be game wreckers, and they need to be watched out for, because I can guarantee you, whether it's Sony Michel or Cam Akers, this is not going to be pretty in the running game, and it's going to be up to Matthew Stafford Stafford through the air to be able to get the job done. On the defensive side of the ball, you talked about the Rams pass rush, and I'm glad you brought them up. Aaron Donald and Von Miller looking like the same players that we have been accustomed to seeing. Von Miller looking like his old Super Bowl MVP self. Aaron Donald just one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackles we've ever seen throughout the NFL's history, and just being an absolute game wrecker in and of himself. We saw the back end of this defense struggle at times against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I promise you this, Jimmy Garoppolo is not Tom Brady, and Mike Evans is not coming back for the San Francisco 49ers. So they're not going to see the same test. They're not going to see the same fight that we saw against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to have to see a little bit more from Jimmy Garoppolo than what we saw him do against the Green Bay Packers if the 49ers have a shot in this game.
All right, guys, well, the stage has been set. Let us know down in the comments who you think will be coming out victorious in this matchup, the San Francisco 49ers or the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.